40 pounds. That's what this draw system from SHW Off Road weighs. And if you know anything about draw systems, you know that that's really light, which is why they call this one the Ultralite. They also make these to fit most Toyotas, the Lexus GX, Bronco, and several Subarus, and the biggest one for the Sequoia weighs just 90 pounds. Let's go inside and take a look at how these are made and what makes them so light. The whole process starts here with this 3D scanner. They take this, they scan the inside of the truck or SUV that they are making the draw system or seat delete for, and that allows them to design it so that it fits exactly inside. There's no wasted space at all. I would get this out and show you, but it's worth a lot more than I am, so I don't want to break it because I can't afford to replace that. Once they're done scanning, they take that into a computer and do some kind of wizardry to design a 3D box, and then that computer magically turns into a flat template that is ready to cut out of the plywood. And they use this plywood. This is a plywood that they specially import from Spain, and it's about 40% lighter than traditional plywood, and it's actually, I believe it's the lightest plywood in the world, the lightest plywood that you can buy, and they basically clone this really light tree over and over again to produce this plywood. They take huge sheets and set it on this thing. This is a CNC table, and you can see this is one of the Ultralite draw systems that they've cut out. This one's actually for a 5th gen 4Runner, basically all the individual parts right now. And this demonstrates another thing that they do to get those draw systems extra light. You can see on the table that there are lots of little pockets cut out. So this is the base of a draw, and they have left enough material in there to keep the structural integrity, but removed some to make it a little bit lighter. Same with the sides of the drawers that you have here. And then for the last thing, I believe I'm going to have to go over to a finished one to show you. We'll head over there. This is one of the draw systems for a GX 470 that's almost finished, but this shows the third thing that they do to make these really light, and that is cut out large pockets where it's not needed. So you're losing a lot of material here. That helps save a little bit of weight. This is in the bottom of the system, and then the central divider that goes between the two drawers also has a big cutout in it that helps save just that little bit extra weight. One of the biggest things that adds weight to draw systems are the draw slides. When my friend Wes and I made our first draw system for the 4Runner and for the Lexus, they weighed around 220 pounds each. From there, they evolved into what SHW Off Road sells today as the Expedition Series draw system. It's a high-end, custom-fitted system with those fully extending draw slides. They still use the light Spanish plywood that you see in the Ultralite system here. Thanks to that and some other little design changes, they're able to bring the weight down to around 140 pounds for the 4Runner, and most of that is in the slides. This is one of the traditional slides that are used. This one's actually from the fridge drop down, and even a small slide like this is about 3.5 to 4 pounds. And of course there's two of these, one on either side of the fridge drop down. When you start looking at the full length slides that they use, those are around 12 pounds, sometimes a little more for the longer ones. And of course that's for each individual slide, and they've got to have 4 of them. So instead of using slides like that, for the Ultralite system, they use this material, which is UHMW, and it is a very low friction material, especially when you got 2 sets of it. They slide along each other very easily. So they mount that on the bottom of each drawer on either side, and then there's a matching channel in the box. So you've got 2 sets of it running side by side. They also have it on the top, so that if the drawer is fully loaded and it's leaning down, there's no friction on the top either. Of course, with normal draw slides, these actually lock in. That's what this little handle is for on the bottom. Because you don't have anything like that on the drawer here, they have instead put a little latch on the bottom here that is operated using gravity, so that holds it in place. To open these, it does take a slight upward pressure as you pull to get over the catch that holds them in, and the drawers come out easily. Even with this one that's fully loaded, there's no problem with it sliding, and it comes most of the way out to about here. Because they don't have slides, you're also maximizing the storage space. You can see that these go all the way to the outside of the box. So each drawer is designed to be as wide and deep as possible and fits perfectly inside the vehicle it's designed for, in this case, the JLU. Another thing that I really like about not having the slides is that you can take the drawer completely out and kind of use it like a tote. That means when you are packing or when you get home from a camping trip, you can just pull them all the way out, grab the handle at the back, which makes it super easy, and take it inside. You can either pack it up like this or unpack really quickly. You can also buy these drawers separately, so you don't actually have to unpack it all. You can just stick these on a shelf loaded with all your camping gear, and you can put an empty drawer back in the system for your groceries or whatever you need while daily driving. While the drawers are out, you also have access to the storage box underneath if you've got a Jeep like this, so you don't have any wasted space. This is also designed so that if you have a tailgate table, there's enough room for it when the back is shut. There are a couple of downsides to not having the full drawer extensions. One of them is really minor, and that's that when you open the drawer, for it to be self-supporting, you do lose access to a little bit of space at the back of the drawer, but actually it's really not that bad. And of course, if you want to access that, you can just use two hands, support the drawer with one, and dig out whatever you need, and then put it back in when you're done. Unlike the fully extending ones that you can just fully open and dig out whatever you need as you need it. The other downside is that these are being held in by gravity. That's what holds that catch and stops them from coming out while you're driving along. And while you're driving normally, they're not going to move anywhere. You know, going down rough roads, bumpy roads, they're going to stay in place. They're not rattling or anything, but you wouldn't want to jump your truck with those drawers in there, because then they're going to slam around. So if you're going to jump your truck, this isn't for you. On the inside, you can see that they have custom fitted wings that are specifically made for the JLU on this box. I've actually customized this one and put in two 12-volt outlets, one for a fridge, one for anything else I want to run or charge off 12-volt. And then I have a USB and AC output that is hooked up to my inverter that I have attached to the back of this box. On the other side, there is no wing because it's actually designed to fit around the sub that comes in most of these JLUs. On the JLU, the wing is fixed in place, and that's because there's no point in being able to move it. There's no space underneath it anyway. But depending on the SUV, if you get something like a 4Runner, you still get those custom wings to fit, but those ones are designed to hinge up because there is space down the side of the box in the 4Runner, so it gives you a little bit of extra accessible storage space. The only other thing you're probably going to want to know is the price of the system, and I'm not going to tell you. The reason I'm not going to tell you is because the price of plywood changes so much. You know, we've got inflation and the price of plywood's going up and down like crazy at the moment anyway. So the price of this drawer system probably will change from year to year. So if you're watching this in a year's time, it's probably a completely different price from the price I paid for this. So you'll have to go to shwoffroad.com or go down to the link in the description and see what they are right now. While you're there, you can check out some of the other things they've got. They've actually just released the Summit series, which is a half drawer, half fridge slide, and the drawer can either be like this in the Ultralite style, or you can get it with the fully extending drawer slides. So they're coming out with some really cool new stuff. Definitely worth checking out. Thanks for watching.